This is Christina at Makeup Box FYI, and today I'm going to be recreating some of your favorite looks from my previous videos, as well as premiering the new Dior Forever Velvet Veil primer. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so I wanted to test this new Dior Velvet Primer. I already purchased the Chanel Illuminating Primer, and that made my skin very dewy, very supple, but it also was very oily, so I had to actually use more powder to kind of calm that down. My skin changes, I think most of us, during the season. It's definitely drier during the fall and winter months, and it's definitely more moist during the summer, spring months, but right now I'm kind of in that weird combination where the oil is just too much, and so I'm looking for something to give me like an in-between. These are my two go-tos for fall and winter. It's the SkinCeutical normal to dry skin, but I find that this gives me so much moisture. I also have it in the eye cream, and then I use the Elta MD tinted, and these two things really have given me that luminescence back to my skin. So my primer isn't as necessary as it was back when my skin was still trying to figure out what was going on and me figuring out the right skincare combination. So I did order it from the Dior website, and first of all, the packaging, so cute. I did put it in my shorts, but the Lunar New Year packaging, oh my. This red and gold, and I was like really impressed. Dior has not been failing, okay? It came with this beautiful bowl. I already unboxed it, but I had the option to get a free candle, so I got the free 30 Monton candle. It's so cute, so pretty. Dior has been killing it with the gifts, okay? I don't even know why I got it. I don't know if it's just a purchase. I don't feel like I had any points, like I've already hit like a certain point, and so I don't know, but it was an option, and it smells really yummy. It's super small, so I would say this for special occasions, but how pretty is this to just have on your vanity and have a little bit of ambiance of Dior, right? And the gold and blue is like one of my favorite packagings until the red and gold packaging came along. And then look at this. They actually gave me 3, but I have one I'm giving to one of my dear friends, but they came with these red envelopes. Stop it. Like, are you serious? These are the fanciest red envelopes for the Lunar New Year that I ever did see. So like I said, the packaging, the red envelopes, everything superb. Like, I'm stunned. Okay, so for the creme de la creme, this is the Dior Forever Velvet Veil. So, ooh, beautiful container. So it's glass. And it states that it has 24-hour blurring matte powder kind of finish. So, and it almost looks skin-like. So let me just take a pump, so you can see. There is a slight fragrance in it. It smells like flowers, but it actually is very creamy, and the finish is very nice. I think the finish is nice. Just a slight radiance, I believe. Very nice. And then let's compare it to the Chanel Le Base Illuminatrix, okay? So this one definitely, I already will tell you, has more of a pinky tone to it. As you can see, it's a little more oily. It definitely has a stronger presence of flowers, I feel like. But the sheens, like this already has matted down. It just feels a little more moisturizing, I would say. But the finish on my hands, they were very similar. What I'm gonna do is do one side with the Velvet Matte, my right side, and the left with the Chanel Le Base Illuminatrix. So I'm gonna take just a few pumps, and I'm just gonna use my hands. And already right now, I just have, I did my eyebrows, I put on all my skincare, I have my tinted moisturizer, but that's it. That's all that I have. So I try to keep it very simple because in addition to trying this primer, I've got a lot of requests to do one of my favorite things, which was play with makeup. A lot of people liked the Dior makeup I had on for a few videos, and so I'm really excited to recreate that for you. Okay, so as far as I can see, it looks really nice. I don't know if you can tell, but it does look more blurring. Like my skin itself looks more matted versus this side that's a little more oily. And I'll do the Chanel so you can see already like coloring is different. Let's do the Chanel. So, not bad. Both sides are still soft. This one definitely does feel like a velvet skin finish. Ooh, I like that. It's very soft. So while it's matted, it's not over drying. And then this one just feels super moisturizing, which was the whole purpose of that primer, which I found did a fantastic job at doing. So now we're gonna do our SUBLIMAGE YEUX. It's actually pretty much my primary concealer. I transfer just a little bit into a pot so I can take it with me to go. I'm gonna do like a little short for you guys of like what I take going to work routine. Oh my god, this girl. I can't believe she keeps these things in her car. Like I literally am carrying a little luxury bag every day in my car, just sitting there. Okay, let's see. I did try the trick of kind of leaving it on because I do have dark circles like you saw. So I do try to leave just a little on just to give it a little time to really settle in. But I really am gonna need like a beauty blender, I think, to like dab it in without it getting all creasy, because it does get a little creasy when I do that and I don't like tap blend it in. Mostly probably because I'm wearing the mask at work, but I digress. Okay, so now I'm gonna do my favorite Chanel foundation at the moment, which is the Chanel No. 5. It is a little scented, it is, I'm not gonna lie, but I really love the finish. It's very skin-like, but very hydrating as well. This one better than I've liked a lot of the other foundations. Like I love the Water Fresh tint, but that's not like a foundation. That's like a your skin but better situation. I do like this one. And I feel like a lot of these do have skincare ingredients because I feel like my skin has been doing really well. I'm not gonna say exactly because I don't know off the top of my head all the skincare ingredients it has, but I feel like that was part of the marketing of this particular foundation, just like with the SUBLIMAGE YEUX. You know, the SUBLIMAGE line is very expensive for that beautiful vanilla extract that takes a lot of time to, you know, cultivate and create. But it's supposed to have these amazing skincare benefits, like nice, youthful skin, which us women and men try to attain for as long as possible. I don't mind aging. I just would really love to do it gracefully. The idea of anti-aging is you are no longer breathing. You know, if you don't age, you're not breathing. That means you're no longer here. I definitely want to be here as long as possible. So yeah, so we have that, so you can see it's very smooth, very skin-like. I do really love these two. Oh, it feels so good. So this side does still feel very velvet, just to the touch, and this one still feels very hydrating. Both very nice. I think I'm gonna get a lot of use out of this velvet one, especially for summer. So this is something new, and I haven't, I'll talk more about it in another video. I've actually done a reel of it, so this is not a surprise. I did order the Chantecaille Lotus Perfect Blur Glow Powder, and I did that because I did need the powder, you know, and I like to powder. I feel like it helps my makeup settle a little better and last longer, and I'm almost out of that Charlotte Tilbury, not almost, but I'm hitting pan, so I knew I needed to get another. And this is the Airbrush Brightening Flawless Finish. This, I still felt a little cakey in some places. I felt like it was very drying. So I wanted something else, and it has been really fantastic. I've really enjoyed this blurring powder. It is so luminescent. It doesn't make me feel very creasy or dry. And I want to show you. It's kind of hard to show you exactly in essence, but I'm gonna try. So you see? I hope you can see it, but it's really pretty. Take my powder brush and just sweep it over top. Now the one thing I will tell you is I won't put it under my, try not to put it too high on my eye, under eyes, because I don't know, I get worried about creasing. And I felt like when I did put it there, I did crease still. So I'm trying to determine what is causing that creasing and if anything can be done to avoid it. I don't know. So we're gonna see. Finishing powder, all my makeup just looks so good. I want to show you how I did that look. So it was basically between 3 palettes. It was with the Chanel Ombres de Lune 928. It was with the Dior Blue Velvet palette at 189, which unfortunately is no longer available. And of course it was my Shining, you know, Pat McGrath palette in the Astral Blitz quad. So I'm going to show you how I did this, and I love, love, love from the Chanel de Lune this transition color. You see, like I'm almost done with it, but the problem is I'm not going to purchase this whole thing just for that transition color. I talked to myself many, many times to say, don't do it. It doesn't make any sense. You're spending $65 for one shade. No. Actually, remember that I had this Urban Decay Riff. It was single shadow, and it's very similar. So I want to show you how similar it actually is. So it's not going to be as luminous, but the finish, with the finish, but it is the similar color. So let me show you. So there's Riff, so it's definitely darker, and then there is the transition shade from the Ombres de Lune. So I've been working with it. It's not the same, but it works. It'll do, you know. Let's start with my little fluffy brush. I got these from Target. These ones aren't anything like special, but they do the trick when, I think they're like Sonia something, but I like the rose gold, which is what hooked me. But I use these as like fluffers. So like if I want to just do like the whole eye, it's very soft, but it's, you know, it's stiff enough to get the job done. So that's what I start with. I start with this coloring, and as you see, it gives me some warmth. But I absolutely love this as a transition color. It is so very nice. It really is. It goes with every single thing, and it's just such an elegant color. You know, it's like the perfect transition color for me. Now I'm going to go in with the next color here, which is going to be just a very slight crease color. I really love this palette. This has to be my favorite Chanel palette. I've gotten the most use out of it because it's so easy to make the prettiest looks. So if you're a beginner or you're a person who just wants to have an easy like 5-minute makeup routine situation, this is the palette for you. It's still available, I think, until supplies run out. So if you are thinking about it, run, don't walk. because this palette is fantastic. So this brush I actually use is a Wayne Goss 04. I'll have to list the brushes I use. You don't need a lot of brushes, quite honestly. You just need like a good, I would say 10 in your arsenal to give you the perfect looks. But I'll go over the brushes that I am using. This is a Sonia G Blender Pro brush. I'm gonna take that other color here and we're gonna put just a little bit in the corners. Just a wee bit, right? Now we're gonna get to the beautiful Blue Velvet palette, and when I did that look, I believe, I'm gonna go back to this brush here, clean it off. I believe I used these two colors in tandem first. And you just put it in the crease. And this was such a pretty blue palette. And initially, I know I said this in that video, one of them, that I used too many cool palettes. I was just trying to use the palette. So in itself, I think you definitely need another palette to complete it. If you're not going for a completely cool tone, or if you don't really look good in cool tones, you need to have some type of warm transition color to make it work. And yeah, so that's what I did, and it totally worked because I have quite a few warm tones within this look. So I hope you can see. And I'm just building higher, just a little higher up here. And then I may use more transition color depending on how far this is going. And I don't want it to come all the way up here. I have to just clean up that little blue that I don't really want there. Because you start putting blue into the inner corner and you start looking really tired. And so I don't want that. I'm just gonna clean that up. I just want it a little showcase, looking really tired. And so I don't want that. I'm just gonna clean that up. I just want it a little showcase on this portion, the very inner portion, but after that, we're done with the blue. Okay, so then use my most beloved Pat McGrath Astral Blitz, and this is my jam. It's pink, peachy shifting Astral Blitz color. I like to wet my brush, and this is one of my favorites to apply these type of Astral Blitz shades or glitter type of shadows in general. And this is the Smith 253. You can see it's like perfectly contoured to your eyelid, and I like to use a little Fix Plus. You know, they're oldie but goodie for a reason. I still own a couple of MAC products that I still love, have in my arsenal. So I'm gonna pick up this color here and just pack it on the top. And this color combination is so pretty. So I put a little, I'll raise it above my lid. I don't want it to reach high into this area because then it starts looking too much and it starts becoming not such a classy, clean look, but like kind of like a mess. Especially if you have hooded eyes. So you want to just go slightly above, okay, your lid, if you can see that, and no more. But these are the absolute best glitter type of eyeshadows on the market, bar none. It's just, I don't know what kind of voodoo Pat McGrath puts on these particular shades, but I'm addicted. Okay, so now you see. And then I'm gonna go slightly in the corners. And you can use this Smith brush for the corners easy, but I have another brush that I actually like, so it doesn't like get into your eyes like this just got into my eyes. My favorite little small brush is the Refer 23 brush. Really love it. So I'm going to, once again, Oh, and by the way, I typically will wait and put my foundation on until after I do all this, but because I was using the primer, I really wanted to put the foundation over top, you know, relatively quickly after applying it, so you can get a good idea of, you know, how it worked. So you kind of just look over the things you need to do, and I feel like this needs a little more warmth. So I will be putting this over top here in the corner, in the creases, to brighten it up. My favorite under eye brush is the Sonia G. It is the Smudger 2 brush, and as you see, it's got little fine teeth, so you can get really close to the lash line. And so I really like this one, it's my favorite. So we'll start with the blue color first. We're gonna use those same 2 blue colors. Just putting it on under here. We'll do the other eye. This is where we're at. I know it looks like a lot right now. We will tone down. I also want to give this a little more depth because you see it's really nice, but it could use a little more depth, right? Goss 19 brush, and it's a nice little fluffy brush. It's very small, and I'll go in with that darkest color here. And I'm gonna adjust to the edge, right here. Edge of the crease, and maybe just a little slightly above, but not too much. Like, we're not going to get too crazy with this one, okay? And then same with this eye. And as you can see, it gave it just a little more depth, and having that little more depth really makes everything else pop, I feel like. So then we look at it, we make sure everything looks really good. So now we will go ahead and put our eyeliner, our mascara on, and I will show you the finished product momentarily. I don't know if I told you, but I did take my little refer brush and take that deepest color and run it underneath my line, my lower lash line, so that it pulls it all together, the dark and the dark. And so I also put a little more concealer. I'm letting it set right now because the blue does fall a little, and I don't want it to make my under eyes really dark. I did put my normal Eyeliner from Chanel mascara, and I did it in black color just because I wanted the drama. And then I used the Noir Allure mascara, and then my regular volume mascara. And because I do like my lashes to reach the heavens, I have already coated it, but I will do one more with you guys, so just to extend that. And then I also have my, because you can see how it goes up a little higher. And then I will have my Q-tip to clean it up because of that. They get so high that they start hitting my lids, and you know what? I don't care about that because they're the length I want them to be, and that's the most important thing. Now it's time to kind of fix this under eye situation, so I'm just gonna tap, tap, tap. And you already know I put that powder. I'm really enjoying that Chantecaille blurring powder. Just looking in the viewfinder. I think I put too much on this side. Sometimes I like to bring it up here because there is a little bit of shadow there, and go upward when you're doing your concealer to give your eyes a sharp look, so your eyes look lifted. So making sure there's no makeup here as I pat it in, because if there is, you're gonna have problems. It's nice and bright. And then I'll put a little more of that powder on there and set it. And voila, we have that eye look that you guys were asking about, which I was so excited that you asked me, because I actually, it's my first time putting that whole look together, and I loved it. So I'm glad you guys did too. So I'm just gonna do my bronzer and everything with you because it's not that much. So we're going to do the normal bronzer. Now I don't really too much rotate out of my foundational thing. So I always do the BEIGES Chanel bronzer. As you see, I am, you know, running low. I poked a hole in it and that's why it looks crazy, and so I just keep running it around from there. But this is the Kat Von D brush in 20. I love this brush. It is so perfect for me. I like my bronzer to hit here, all these spots, and I feel like this dispenses it very well. So you can see, it just brought that warmth. I'm not a contour person. I'm too old for that for me. And I'm just not interested necessarily in contouring. I want to warm up my skin, give it a nice healthy look, not kind of shape myself into a different look. No shade to those who do like to contour, but it's just not my thing. So I never really tried to understand it. So this is what initially hooked me to Chanel, was their bronzer. Never had a bronzer so fantastic in my life. It was actually the Sunset, so my amazing essay actually gave me a sample of it because they no longer sell this one. This was a limited edition. Don't you hate those limited editions? I know, but I put this over top of that one because this one actually gives me a little more sheen. So, see, it just looks healthy. I don't want to look like a different person, but I just want to bring some dimension to my face. Use that beautiful Christian Dior Coral Glow, and so pretty. It's like a blush highlighter in one. So yeah, so pretty. Kind of reminds me of that MAC Warm Soul, but it's definitely creamier. So I'm gonna also use my Sonia G Cheek Pro, nice fluffy brush. Contours exactly to where I want it to be, so I love this brush. Just gonna put it here. As you can see, it's gonna give me just a little luminous peachy color. You can see the difference between this side and this side. Just a little hint of something. Nothing crazy. I like to bring it all together. Kind of the places I put my bronzer, I will put my blush. So there. Look at that. As you can see, it looks so nice. It gives you a nice sheen without it being too much. Very nice. And if you know, for camera purposes, and because I do overall like highlighters, I will put on the Camellia, the Rêve de Camellia from Chanel. It's a Wayne Gloss brush. And I love this one for highlighter because it's soft. And I put my highlighter on all the high points. Just a little something something. If you want to beam like you have inner radiance just pouring from your vessels, you just add yourself a little more, and it's so classy, so clean, so beautiful. And then favorite, Dior Nude Touch, Rouge Dior in color 100. And I love this color on its own, but I also really love it under any color lipstick or lips or any color lip liner, because it just gives your lips, it just highlights that color. It doesn't too much change things. It's also a perfect nude over top of things. And it is so soft and creamy. I don't know, I'm almost running out. I think I'm gonna have to order another one soon, because this is one that I have to have on hand. It's just so elegant. Do you see? And I don't typically spray anything over top. I don't have like a finishing spray that I like. I may look into something like that at some point, some future date, but right now I'm okay. I wear a lot of masks at work, which you know I've talked about a lot, so I don't think that's gonna do a whole lot. But I will say that that Chantecaille powder has been doing a fantastic job of just smoothing everything out, especially the thing I put it underneath everything, and everything just comes out so smooth. Like, it's beautiful. I haven't put it over top. I could if you want to tame this down, but I don't. I want to shimmer shine. And so yes, I hope you enjoyed this. As I can feel, this side is still very luminous, very creamy. This has the Chanel, just to remind you, the Chanel Illuminatrix here, and the Dior Forever Veil in Velvet. And I have to say, I think it looks good, both of them. Like I said, the only issue I ever had with the Chanel is that I do get very oily, so the velvet should make everything very finished, very matte. I hope you enjoyed this little demo of the eyeshadow I created. I love doing that, and if there's anything else, I think there is another one you guys have been asking me about in another video, so I will be working on that one as well. But darlings, I hope you have a great day, a fantastic week, and I will catch you in the next one.